video number 78 for violin and viola players. In this video, we are going to learn a new note. That new note is called F natural, also just known as plain old F. So far, we've been playing F sharp all year long. Now, every note that you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all of the notes have three different positions, okay? There's a sharp position, that's the highest, a natural position, and something called a flat. We won't learn flats until book 2, okay? We know F sharp. What we're going to learn today is F natural. Now remember, F sharp is the highest position for the note, F natural is the middle, that's its natural state, and then flat is the lowest, okay? There is an A sharp, an A natural, also known as A, and an A flat. There is a B sharp, which is very unusual, but there is one, a B sharp, a regular B, which is what you know, and a B flat. There is C sharp, which you do know, a C natural, which actually you already learned a C natural. Think about when you played on the G string. You learned a C natural there, right? And then a C flat, also a very unusual note, but it does exist. So you get my point. There's one for everything. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They all have sharp, natural, and flat. Okay? Sharp is the highest, natural's in the middle, flat's the lowest. So think about this. When you go higher up on your fingerboard, and I'm sure some of you have already done this just for fun, right? Okay, or to annoy your parents. You've probably already done that. When you go higher up, when you go up the fingerboard this way, does the note go higher or lower? Well, I'll do it slow and you'll hear. If I go down, and it's a wonderful annoying sound. Okay, I'm sure all of you are going to annoy your parents with that now if you haven't already done so. So the reason I showed you that is because we need to take the F sharp that we know and we need to make it natural. Remember, natural is lower than sharp. So what we're going to do, we have F sharp right here. Violins are here, violas are here. Okay, just be on your D string. I'm just going to put my finger in the middle so I can pretend to be both in between a D and an A string. Okay, so this is F sharp, finger on the tape. I want my note to sound lower. You are not going to get a tape for this note. Okay, at least if you're my student, you're not going to get a tape for this note. So what we need to do is we need to take our second finger and go towards the scroll. Move it back, go back until it hits your first finger. Now if your first finger's off, it's not going to work for you. Make sure your first finger is right on the tape. And then second finger right next to it. Also, if you've got a bad hand position, not going to work for you. This is why good hand positions are really necessary, okay? So, I want you to do this. I want you just to play 4 F sharps. Just regular old F sharp. Play 4 F sharps. Echo me. Go. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp. Now, take that F sharp and scooch it back until it hits your first finger. Don't let that first finger move. Keep it right there. Now, this is the note, now F natural, okay? Play that. Now, F natural, 2, 3, 4, okay? F and F natural are the same note. We talked about that before when you learned C on the G string. If it's not sharp for now, it's natural. Later on, if it's not sharp or flat, it's natural, okay? So if I just say F, this is what I mean. Low 2. I'm going to call that low 2 because it sounds lower, okay? We're going to call that low 2. We're going to refer to that as low 2. So now what do you think this is going to be called? You guessed it, high 2. So now we have high 2, low 2, okay? Now I'd like for you to take your tuner out. Now if you don't have a tuner, I would definitely recommend getting one, but there are options of using a tuner online. I personally don't feel like they work as well, okay? So I want you to take your tuner out, make sure it says 440, and make sure your D string is really well in tune. Really, really well in tune, like your green light standing straight up and no flashes of red or red and green light standing straight up, okay? You might need to pause the video right now to make that happen, okay? And then I want you to try to get a green light when you're playing the new note of F natural, okay? You're just going to echo me on some of these notes. So just play 4 F naturals. Remember, this is low 2. It does not get a tape. You do not put it on a tape. You put first finger down and second finger next to it. The reason I have you get your tuner out, some of you, if you have like really long arms, but you kind of got skinny fingers, you're gonna have a little bit of space. I have very little space because, well, my fingers are rather sausage-like. They're very fat. And so I don't have much space. But skinny people, they sometimes have space between. So it's hard to say. It's gonna be different for different people. You can get it too low. It's possible. Now my fingers are too fat. It's unusual for me to get it too low, but it's possible to get it too low. So first finger's on the tape, second finger might be squeezed touching it, or it might be like, just like that. See how that's barely just away from it, okay? It might be like that or that. Your tuner's gonna tell you where it is for you, okay? We're not getting tapes for this. We gotta start using our ears. Our tuner's gonna train our ears. Play 4 F naturals, echo me. And go, F natural, 2, 3, 4. Now do 2 E's and 2 F's. And go, E, E, F, F. Now I want you to take your F natural and then slide it up and play F sharp. You're gonna do that. 2 F naturals and slide it up, play F sharp. Let me show that close up. 2 F naturals, slide it up for F sharp. And make sure when you slide it, you get it up there. Don't just get it like to there. That's not F sharp, that's just out of tune note. Low 2 and way up for high 2 on middle finger, middle of tape. Okay, 2 F naturals, 2 F sharps, echo me. And go. F natural, slide it up, F sharp. And I don't want you to hop it. Don't do this. Slide it up, okay? Now do this. Listen carefully to this, because we're going to do just some old notes. D, E, F sharp, F sharp. Play that, echo me. And go. D, E, F sharp, F sharp. Now do D, E, F natural, F natural. Try that. And watch your tuner. D, E, F natural, F natural. Watch your tuner. Watch your tuner, okay? If you didn't get that, pause the video, go back and forth between D, E, F sharp, and D, E, F natural, okay? And get it in tune. Now try this. 2 open Ds and 2 F naturals. F natural, low 2. Try that. Open D and F natural. Looking at your tuner, echoing me. Go. Open D, F natural. Now do 2 open Ds and 2 F sharps. And go. D, D, F sharp, F sharp. Now go back and forth. Do 2 F naturals, 2 F sharps. Do that slidey thing again. 2 F naturals. Echo me. And go. F natural, F sharp, F sharp. Now do this. 2 G's, 2 F sharps. And I really do mean F sharp. 2 G's, 2 F sharps. Echo me. And ready to go. G, G, F sharp. Look at your tuner. If you don't have a tuner, use some kind of app on a phone or online. You definitely want to use this to learn. It's kind of tedious, but spend a week or so doing these kind of echoing things, and you're gonna get F natural and tune. You're gonna learn it. Okay, use the tuner. Now do 2 G's and 2 F naturals. And go G, G, F natural, okay? Now, how do we know when to play F natural and when to play F sharp? Well, guess what? Your key signature tells you that, okay? Remember when we learned G major and it only had F sharp? D major had F sharp and C sharp, okay? There are key signatures that don't have, there's a key signature that doesn't have A sharp at all. Doesn't have flat at all, okay? We're gonna learn that one soon. But I want to show you something else first. Open in your book to page number 32. Now you're going to see right above number 126, you're going to see this little shaded box. And it says natural. The natural sign looks kind of like an L and a 7 put together, like that, okay? Looks like this, an L and a 7 put together. The natural, what it does is it gets rid of the sharp that might be in the key signature, okay? You're only going to see natural signs when there's other sharps around. Natural signs don't exist just randomly. Because remember, you've been playing open D all year long, and that's been D natural. Did we need a natural sign for that? No, we didn't. The whole purpose of a natural sign is to get rid of the sharp sign, to ignore, it overrides the sharp sign, okay? So if you look at 126, and viola is just going to look slightly different because you have a different clef. But you see there's that one sharp sign there? When we see one sharp, hopefully remember, first of all, that key signature was called G major. But also when there's one sharp, which one is it? It is the F sharp. So the key signature says, hey, you're going to play F sharp this whole time. You're going to play F sharp for the whole song. You're going to play all the Fs are going to be sharp. All the Fs are going to be sharp. But then this little natural sign comes along and says, nope, not here. You're going to play F natural. Okay, so that natural sign in front of that F tells us to play F natural and ignore the key signature. Now here, there's more to it than that. It's not just that first note. That F natural, that natural sign is good for the whole measure. It expires at the end of the measure, okay? So the natural sign says, I don't care what you say, key signature, we're playing F natural for this whole measure. And then guess, look at measure 2. Look at measure 2. It says natural again. So the natural signs, it's like the natural signs and sharp signs are fighting. And guess what? Natural wins in this one, doesn't it? Because, look at it. Do you ever actually play F sharp in 126 at all? No, you do not. You do not play F sharp at all in 126 because the natural sign is there at the beginning of every single measure. And remember, the natural sign gets rid of the sharp sign for that measure. And then look, the next measure you have another natural sign. It gets rid of the sharp sign. It's saying ignore the key signature, play F natural. By the way, you should never ignore your key signature. But the natural sign is saying, no, listen to me, listen to me. Play F natural here, okay? Now, why would the book bother even putting that sharp sign there if we never play F sharp? It's trying to teach you how key signatures and natural signs work. That's why it's there. Okay, if a real composer was writing the song, first of all, it'd be horribly boring because it's just one note the whole time and no one would ever play it. But aside from that, okay, they would not bother putting the sharp sign there. There would be nothing in the key signature. That's the key signature we're going to learn in just a couple of videos, okay? So this whole line of 126 is an F natural. So I don't think we need to shadow bow it. Well, there is an E in there, I'm sorry. I thought it was F natural the whole way. There is actually an E in there, isn't there, in measure 3. I don't think we need to shadow bow it because, well, it's pretty easy, isn't it? So let's just play it. And metronome-wise, I think we should play it, I would say the speed of 70 will be good for us, okay? This is actually 72. I'm going to keep my eighth notes clicking. Do we have any eighth notes? No. But it's good to have eighth notes on. Make sure our half notes are long enough. Okay, so low 2. Put your first finger down, F natural. Here we go, 126. 1, 2, forte, and go. Rete, forte. 1, te, 2, te. Another F natural. Ooh, now an E. F natural. Rete, forte, off. Okay, so make sure you understand that although the natural sign is only next to the first note of the measure, it's good for all of the Fs in that measure. Okay, the natural sign cancels out the sharp sign and the key signature for every F that is in that measure. Okay, now look at 127. Now look at this one. Look at your key signature again. Your key signature says you're going to play F sharps. Remember, one sharp is always F sharp, no matter what key signature it is, because it's more than just G major that has that key signature. Some of you already know that probably. But it's F sharp for the whole song, unless you see a natural sign. So look at measure 1. Your first note is G. Your second note, is it F sharp? It absolutely is F sharp. Okay? Then it goes back to G. Now look in measure 3. You play G, and then F natural, and then G. Then you're going to do a bow lift and repeat. Okay? What's that little mark, that little thing going like this? Okay, or violas, it goes like this. It's telling you what a half step is. There's a whole step. Here's the shortened version of that. A whole step, your fingers are far apart. A half step, your fingers are close together. Okay? A half step means there are no notes in between the two. There are no other notes in between. So I have E and then F natural. That's a half step. Okay? Now if I did E and F sharp, that's a whole step because is there a note that exists in between? Absolutely, we just learned it. It is the F natural. That note exists in there. Okay? E and F sharp, whole step. E, F natural, half step. The easiest way for violins and violas to remember this, if my fingers are close together, it's a half step. If my fingers are far apart, it's a whole step. Now what about 1 to 3? That's a totally different thing. Not getting into that in this video, okay? Half step, whole step. All right, so this one, I think you should shadow bow it through first, because I'm gonna talk you through it too. When we have to, because we have to move our second finger in the middle of it, right? I want you to slide it, don't hop it. Slide it, okay? Shadow bow, 127, turn our metronome back on. And 1, 2, shadow bow and go. G, F sharp, rest, lift. F natural, slide it back, stretch that G up, rest, lift, beginning, F sharp high, rest, lift, G, F natural, prepare, 1 take, 2 take, rest. Rest, okay? Now, the trick is you don't want to get that slidey sound in between. If you can do independent fingers, this is what I'd really like for you to do. I would really actually prefer if you did this. I just have my G down, watch. Now, I'm going to look. I'm going to prepare it. Look, my second finger in the air. It's getting... Then I can start and bring it back up, ready for the repeat, okay? So if we do that, then we don't get that smeary, slidey sound. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay, let's play it now. If you can't do that and you need to slide, that's okay. Just don't pick all your fingers up and hop it, okay? We don't want to get extra sounds either. All right, here we go. 1, 2, right, say, and go. G, now F sharp. Now if you can, pick up that F sharp, but leave the G down. Okay, now prepare it and go back to F natural. And repeat, beginning, F sharp. And lift, F natural. Stretch it up to rest, rest, okay? Now, what you should do before the next video, you should practice your F naturals with your tuner a lot, a whole lot. Okay, so that you can practice going back and forth between F sharp and F natural. All right, that's going to be the best way for you to prepare yourself, but again, with your tuner, because right now you don't know what F natural sounds like. All right, practice with your tuner a whole lot so you're ready for your next video.